What happens when you finally stop overthinking and start walking in what God has placed inside of you? For over a decade, the vision for Beyond the Pulpit podcast is set on the shelves of my mind. Fear, doubt, perfectionism, and hesitation, all those things kept delaying what purpose was trying to produce. And one day, I made a decision to close my eyes and to do what was already in my heart. And y'all, in less than 90 days, I keep saying this over and over again because it's still mind blowing. But in less than 90 days, the podcast, it took off with wings. Over 12,000 subscribers and 160,000 plus views. The buzz big to me. This motivational message today is for every dreamer, every entrepreneur, every creator, every minister and visionary, for everyone who has been afraid to launch the business. You've been afraid to start the podcast, to write the book, to build your brand, or to create another stream of income. I want to talk to you today. Just because thousands of other people are doing it does not mean that there's no room for you. Nobody else is your voice. You are uniquely made. There are five things that I want to talk about today. One, why your dream matters. Two, why you shouldn't wait until you feel ready. Thirdly, I want to talk about how faith and obedience will unlock opportunities for you. The fourth thing that we'll discuss today is why your uniqueness beats comparison every single time. And then the fifth thing that we'll talk about today, or that I mentioned to you, is I'm here to remind you that if you have a ministry gift, you have content. Hello, my friend. Thank you again for joining today. And for my faithful followers and for those that are joining for the first time, I want to say welcome to Beyond the Pulpit. We're in between seasons. And today I just wanted to stop. This is in my heart. I wanted to pause and do a little pep talk today to my friends. And hopefully I can encourage somebody. I want to talk to dreamers, builders, creators, visionaries, those of you out there who've been sitting on an idea for far too long. I came to speak to the person who has a business in their spirit. You have a ministry in your heart. You've got a book in your notes app on your phone or in your device. You have a podcast in your imagination. For somebody, you have a clothing line. You got your sketches and your vision board and all of that. You have a nonprofit in your prayers. Another stream of income that you keep talking yourself out of. I came to speak to the person who was saying, one day I'm going to do it, or when the time is right, when I have enough money, when I know more, when I get more information, or when I stop being afraid. I came to talk to you. The truth is, some of you're not waiting on timing, and you're not waiting for things to line up and to be perfect. You're not even waiting for all of the ducks to be in a row. You're waiting on permission. And I need you to hear this clearly. You don't need permission to walk in what God's placed inside of you. That permission can't come from man. It can't come from yourself. Well, if you're going to give yourself any permission, give yourself permission to be creative, to be you, to present yourself to the world. Listen, for over a decade, the idea of Beyond the Pulpit podcast is set on the shelves of my mind. A decade, that's 10 years. Not because it wasn't a good idea, not because it wasn't needed, not because I wasn't capable of doing it. It's set there because fear has a way of making us postpone. It has a way of making us postpone what purpose is trying to produce. Fear will whisper to you, and then sometimes it's doing more than whispering. It's actually shouting in our spirit and our mind and the back of our head. The questions that I asked myself were, do you think you really have an audience? What if nobody watches or cares to listen? What if I fail? What if I start and nobody supports it? Then one day I made a decision. I stopped overthinking. I stopped trying to make it perfect. I launched out, and there were times when I felt like that was cringy, or that's not going to be good, or it's too rough around the edges. People won't be convinced that I know what I'm talking about. But when I was honest with myself and then was not afraid to be transparent, I started talking and I recorded it. And I wasn't worried about it being fine tuned, not just yet. And there's some things that I learned during the first season that I plan on implementing in season number two. And hopefully you'll be there to ride with me. You'll see the changes and the upgrades and the things that I've learned. And there's some things that I want to add in, but at the same time, not losing the flavor of or the spirit of the podcast. Also, not losing myself or my identity, but to be uniquely me. I'm looking forward to sharing with you on that. I stopped waiting for the perfect setup and the perfect moment and the perfect confidence. I simply closed my eyes, and I'm literally doing it now. I closed my eyes and I did what was already in my heart. And I'm going to say it one more time. In less than 90 days, something that lived in my spirit for over 10 years took off with wings, took flight. And it's not because I had all the answers, not because I had $1 million budget, nowhere near that. It's me with a microphone in my computer and a little bit of lights. And it was not because everything was polished. It took off because movement activates possibilities. Movement activates possibilities that hesitation will never make happen. Some of you are waiting for certainty before you move, but faith has never required certainty. Faith you have to do because it's something inside that's pulling you to it. So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. Hear what God is saying to your spirit, what he's saying to your mind, what he's speaking to your heart. Faith requires obedience. You don't have to see the whole staircase. You just need to be able to see the next step, the step that you're going to take. That's all. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just know that those stairs are part of a staircase that's leading somewhere. It's leading to a place called destiny. And my God, you want to get there. You want to get to your destined place. And God, you want to get to the why you were created. I think that's a desire for every human being. If it's not, it's something it certainly should be. And let me say this. I'm going to say something to every dreamer who's in this space right now. Stop disqualifying yourself because people are already doing what you want to do. Don't do it. Don't do this. Stop doing it to yourself. The mindset, that mindset is killing way too many dreams. Yes, there are thousands of podcasts out there. There are thousands of businesses. There are thousands of content creators. Yes, and it's true, there are thousands of speakers and authors, coaches, life coaches, entrepreneurs, gurus, but there has never been another you. Nobody else has your voice. Nobody else has your story. Your story is your story. Nobody else has your testimony. Your testimony is your testimony. Nobody else has your perspective. Your perspective is your perspective. Nobody else carries your fingerprint of purpose. People don't just connect to content. Your audience is connecting to your authenticity, to what you have to say. They're waiting for your voice. There are people who are assigned to your voice, and they may not respond to someone else's. Something to think about. You're not called to be the only one, but you're called to be the one God created you to be. Trust me, and I know this very well, comparison is expensive. It will cost you your confidence. It'll cost you your creativity and momentum. Comparison will cost you your joy. Every minute you spend comparing yourself to others is another minute that your dream is trapped in your head. It's another minute that your dream is not walking out and producing. It's resting. Can I tell you something powerful? I was reminded of this because another individual that I talked to just the other day shared a similar experience. But I was in a session with the late Pastor Miles Monroe, Dr. Miles Monroe, and he asked a question to those who were there in the sitting. He says, "What is the wealthiest place in the world?" People raised their hands. They had uh, all kinds of responses to that. And, he took a few responses. And then he told us, he said that all of those were wrong. He said the wealthiest place in the world is the cemetery or the graveyard. And then he went on to explain why that is, or why he said that. He said the cemetery is full of unrealized dreams. He said in the graveyard, no doubt, in the cemetery somewhere is the cure for the common cold or the cure for cancer. Things that died with people, businesses that were never started, books that were never written, songs that were never recorded, even ministries that were never launched. Dreams buried beneath excuses. Not because people lack talent, not because God didn't send gifts or give answers, but because they lacked the courage to begin. And beloved, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving while fear is still present. Courage is doing it afraid. And sometimes we have to do that. We have to do it afraid. Uh, do it afraid if you have to. Just do it. Get it done. It's in you. You can do it. And you have to rise past that, have enough courage. Some of us think successful people are fearless. No. They simply decided that purpose was greater than panic. The Beyond the Pulpit podcast has taught me so many things, and this has really been life changing. This whole journey, these last 3 months have been amazing. One of the things that I learned is you cannot steer a parked car, because if the car is parked, the steering wheel is locked. Is locked. God can direct movement. He can direct and elevate movement. He can multiply movement, but movement is necessary. I often say that the activation of faith is giving God something to work with. He's God. He won't ever not be God. He does not change. But he gives us the opportunity to participate in our own miracles. But too many people are spiritually stuck because they refuse to move until everything makes sense. Movement needs to happen by faith and not by what makes sense. Make faith, and you don't have to worry about making sense. There comes a moment when you have to stop researching and start releasing. It's important to get data, get information, to get a good understanding of what it is that you want to do. But at some point, you have to stop researching and you have to utilize what you've learned and the information that you've gained, put it into action. Stop planning and start producing. Stop doubting and start doing. You may not start perfectly, but you can start passionately. Hear me carefully. Hear me, please. Your first version does not have to be your final version. Some of you won't launch because you're embarrassed of humble beginnings. And who wants to be embarrassed? Let's be honest. But some people have a greater fear of embarrassment than others. But every successful thing started small. It all begins with a seed. Everything that grew big, it started small. Small audience, small room, small investment, a small opportunity, a small idea. So I want to say to you today, never underestimate what God can do with something small that's surrendered. When you surrender it to God, He'll take it, bless it, break it, and give it back. Some of you will remember the fishes and loaves, the little boy's lunch. It was small in human hands, but it became miraculous in God's hands. Little becomes much when we place it in the master's hands. Some of you are sitting right now, you're sitting on loaves and fishes. You call it little, but God calls it enough. It's enough for him to do what he wants to do. What if the thing that you keep minimizing is the very thing that's meant to unlock your next season? What if your side idea becomes your primary income? What if your obedience to God, obedience to the tug and the pull, creates opportunity for your family? What if your leap of faith becomes freedom for generations after you? Listen, none of that happens if you never move. I want to challenge today every dreamer listening to me. Stop announcing dreams you refuse to pursue. At some point, vision demands action. Not tomorrow, not next year, but now. So I want to encourage you, start the business, launch the channel, file the LLC, record the episode, record the song, write the first chapter. Go ahead and sell the product. My wife started making jewelry. She made these bracelets for me. Nice. And it even matches my shirt. But at first, she was backing up because everybody else was doing it. So many people are doing it, and they didn't do it the way she did it, and she had different ideas in her mind. And I encouraged her, just like I'm encouraging myself even today, and I want to encourage you. Baby, go ahead and do it. I don't care who else is making it, it's not going to be the same. All of these are handcrafted, they're different. And even if you're using the same supplies as somebody else is, she didn't create the beads, she's putting them together. The pattern that you design is going to be different from whatever anybody else does. And there's an audience, there's a customer base for you. And guess what? Today, she is doing a marvelous job with that. And she talks to other people that she knows personally. They trade ideas and make suggestions. But guess what? All of them have their own client base. There's somebody out there that's looking for you and what you bring to the table. Go ahead, offer the service, post the video, Take the meeting, make the call. Don't be afraid. Well, listen, well, if you are afraid, do it anyway. Do it afraid. Do it afraid if you must, but do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it. One of the worst things for me anyway is having regrets. I've learned that regret weighs way more than failure ever will. Guess what? It doesn't have to be a situation where it worked the first time that you tried. If it doesn't work the first time, learn from it, adjust, grow, try again. Failure is not proof that you should quit. It's not. Sometimes failure is simply tuition for wisdom. That is a commodity that is priceless. Wisdom. And all of that get an understanding. The people we admire, they're not people who've never failed. They're people who refused to quit. And listen, I believe that there are entrepreneurs right here in this session, in this room. I believe they're creators in this room, innovators in this room, wealth builders in this room, kingdom-minded visionaries right here in this setting. I'm talking to you, but your future is waiting on your decision, not your perfection. Your decision to move out. The Beyond the Pulpit podcast, this thing became proof to me that delayed dreams can still live. And just because it's set dormant does not mean it died. Oh, this thing is very much alive. Timing was right. Even when I didn't feel like I didn't see it, the timing was right. And I need somebody to hear this. And I'm coming to a close. It's not too late for you to experience what God has placed inside of you, what your purpose is. Your dream may have been delayed, but beloved, delay is not denial. You still have time. As long as you are breathing, as long as God is giving you another day, that's another opportunity to fulfill your purpose. You still have purpose. You still have value. You still have something to offer this world. I don't care how old you are. By virtue of the fact that you're yet here, there's a reason why you are. And when doubt tries to speak louder than destiny, remember this. Just because thousands of others are doing it, nobody else is my voice. In fact, I want you to say that out loud. Say it with me. Nobody else is my voice. Matter of fact, let's say it one more time. Nobody else is my voice. So stop shrinking yourself. Stop hiding. Stop hesitating. Stop second guessing what God has already placed in you and the goal that He's already given you. The world doesn't need another copy, doesn't need another replica, doesn't need another counterfeit, doesn't need another fake thing or another version of you. It needs you. It needs to hear your voice. It needs your authenticity. And years from now, you deserve to be able to go back and say, I tried it. I launched it. I believed it. I moved in it. I obeyed God. Instead of coming back saying coulda, shoulda, woulda, I wonder what would have happened if I had started. How differently would things be if I had gone ahead and done this or that? Your next stream of income, your next level of life, your your next opportunity, it may be hiding behind one act of courage. So I'm going to encourage you to do what I've done. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and do what's already in your heart. Because one more time, nobody else is your voice. Be blessed. Listen, if this episode has blessed you, I encourage you. I want you to share this with somebody else. I want you to like it, make a comment on it, subscribe to the channel. There'll be more content coming out. If you can help me to do that, that would be wonderful. And again, if you want to sow into this ministry, I said it just a few days ago. I have all the apparatus to do that. If you'd like to, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Zelle, those methods are available. Reach out to me and I'll be more than happy to share with you. Also, you can go to my website, dksministries.com. There's a place where you can order product. I have my first book, Past the Pulpit, The Ultimate Test of Ministry, is there. And then an upcoming book. It's not been released yet, but it's coming very soon, Born of Four. And that talks about the four types of people that we all need in our lives: friends, fathers, fillers, and followers. I'm excited about that. That right there, so far, I will say is my masterpiece. But check out my website and check out the podcast. There may be another episode in here that will encourage you and help you. And again, season 2 is coming soon. I can't wait to see you. God bless you.